This is Sofia Martinez, and today I wanted to talk about the power of being with discomfort. And I wanted to share um, just a little bit of information about what does this mean to to learn to be with your discomfort. And then I'm gonna guide us through a really short breathing process that hopefully will support you in this. And so let's dive right in. Um, Discomfort is part of life. Every time you are embarking, navigating, starting something new, listening to that call and you're diving into that new adventure, or you're facing to a challenge, you're moving from your comfort zone, all that which is known. The piece is that sometimes we stay in our comfort zone, even though if it's not in our best interest. So, to give you a clear example, sometimes you just stay in that relationship for way too long because you was scared of taking that leap of faith or breaking out of that relationship and everything that it would mean leaving that relationship and leaving that person that maybe you were with them with for 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever that is, or leaving that job that is not paying you enough, that is not valuing your work enough, and that is not happy, you're not feeling happy, but it's known. I'm not saying to any of this is just to give you a sense. I'm not saying to leave your home or to leave your job. I'm just giving you an example so you can check in where in my life I am staying. I am saying yes. I'm staying into places where I know are not in alignment for me anymore, that perhaps are, not honoring me, not in alignment, right, for me anymore. And so just that quote from Anais Nin that says, and the moment arrived when staying tight in this bed was surpass the fear of blooming, of transforming and blooming into a flower. So there's moments that sometimes that leap of faith, that step into what is new, into change and transformation, out of fear, we stay tied in that bed until staying tied in this bed is more uncomfortable than actually taking that step that I'm afraid to take. And so that's kind of the explanation that I wanted to give. And so the key of being resilient to being and allowing myself to be and breathe through that discomfort is gonna give you so much in a way power, because life is a series of moments of discomfort, because every time that you're stepping into something new, you're gonna feel discomfort. There's gonna be discomfort. Every time you're starting a new job and you're learning something new, there's discomfort there. Every time you're, I don't know, you're um exercising, when you stop exercising, those muscles are going to hurt. And so there's going to be discomfort until you train yourself and you reach a point where it's like, okay, this is easy now. And actually, my body's asking for it. And it's this discomfort. I feel discomfort when I am not exercising. You see what I mean? And so there's moments of discomfort as they're part of your life, they're part of life. And so every time you step into something new, there's going to be a process of discomfort. What it's key here to understand is that when I'm staying in that discomfort because it's comfortable to me, and when I'm living this discomfort because it's uncomfortable for me. And so this moment where we are avoiding the discomfort in order, because it's painful, because we're scared, because we're stepping into the unknown, because, you know, we don't want to feel that which we don't want to feel, we don't want to see that which we don't want to see, and so we avoid it. And this can show up in the moments, for example, where it's like, I don't want to take that step because it's uncomfortable. When I am in the discomfort, like for example, I don't know, I'm having a headache, I take a pill. I take an ibuprofen to get rid of my discomfort, that is the headache. But naturally, I'm not doing anything to understand what triggered that headache. I'm not doing anything to understand what is that headache telling me, informing me. What is the information that that is activated in me? About, I don't know, many years ago now, I think it was like 14 years or so, I stopped taking, I used to suffer from migraines. And so back in the day, now about 14 years ago, I made the decision to stop taking any medication. Like, I don't take ibuprofen or anything of the sort, because I knew there was a way that I was avoiding. It was just like putting, you know, a band-aid to something that I wasn't really resolving and understanding what was underneath. And now I have a whole understanding of why my migraines used to show up in my life. And so, but I had to live through it. There were many times in my life that the migraine came up, and I just have to move through it. It was like maybe a day that I would be in the dark and just living through it. And let me know, I don't know if you have migraines in your life, you know how excruciating the pain is. If you haven't had a migraine, you're lucky, because it's very painful experience. It's like, you know, you look like everything is fine, but inside you feel like your head is gonna explode. And you know, I started to get nausea, and like there were a lot of other symptoms as well, that all I could do was just go into the room and be a black room with silence, and then I would just try to sleep, but sometimes I couldn't sleep because the pain was so much. But through that process of understanding and actually living through the migraine is what I began to understand what was the trigger and what was underneath the migraine, that the migraine was giving me information about something that I wasn't able to integrate within myself. And so it was there for a reason. And so when we have learned to avoid that process that feels uncomfortable, so I am feeling uncomfortable, so I want to run away from it, I want to avoid it, I want to deny it, I want to numb it, then you're, in a way, you're freezing that moment of transformation, and you're freezing that moment of learning. And so this is why it's key, because every process where you're growing, where you're stepping into something new, there is a process of growing, there is a process of learning. And so if I am feel like uncomfortable in that process of learning, of getting it wrong, of failing, of making a mistake, that process of the new is going to feel really uncomfortable for me. And maybe I'm going to say no to that process because I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to get it wrong, or etc. Right? If and so if I am afraid of the unknown and being alone in this new chapter of my life, or this job feels very uncomfortable for me, I'm not gonna take that step into the new, because every time I'm stepping into something new, there's a process that is gonna feel discomfortable, because you're learning about yourself in a new experience. And so that fear is going to come out to keep you safe. Fear is going to always keep you safe, to keep you alive. And so at that level in your subconscious layer, this change might mean that you're going to not be safe anymore. You're going into the unknown, So back in the day when you went out into the wild, there was threats everywhere. And if you were alone there was, you had to defend yourself alone. And so stepping into this new adventure, then that part of you is gonna get activated and tell you, okay, you're moving into something that is unsafe, that is life-threatening at the level of the subconscious. So I might not go for it if I don't believe perhaps that I have it within me to take that step, or internal capabilities within me. If I'm not just like going with a full yes into the unknown, knowing that I'm gonna feel uncomfortable, that this process is gonna be uncomfortable, that maybe when I try something and I get it wrong, and I perhaps don't do it 100%, I don't know it exactly because I'm learning something new. Is, when you were a child, you didn't like stand up and started walking. There was a process of learning. You were strengthening your muscles. You were playing around and strengthening your feet, your legs, your core. Until then, after months, maybe not within the 9 months or 12 months of life, you were able to walk. But first you were stumbling. And then now, walking is just so easy, right? So, but it was uncomfortable. That process is uncomfortable because you're gonna fall, you're gonna look kind of silly, right? And so if all these pieces have a play in your life, you're gonna avoid discomfort, and so you're gonna avoid growth, because it means that growth means that you're going to have an uncomfortable experience. There's a process that is uncomfortable that is part of your growing process and your process of transformation. Look at the butterfly. The butterfly goes through the caterpillar, completely dissolves into the butterfly. That process of no longer being what I know I am is uncomfortable in every single part of your life. And so when you understand that, when I can accept discomfort and manage myself through the discomfort, then things are going to be easier. To give you an example, I'm trying something new. Okay, the first time, oh, it's okay. The second time, not so good. And I get frustrated because I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. And it's uncomfortable to me to feel that frustration of not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. If I don't want to feel that frustration because it's uncomfortable to me, I'm going to quit. But if I can be resilient with my discomfort, I'm going to keep going because I know it's part of my process of learning, of changing, of transforming, of stepping into the new. And so let's go into the practice. And this is a simple practice. Let's say this specific situation where you're starting to feel discomfort. Maybe the frustration came up. And so you're going to simply close your eyes, connect into your heart center. You can bring your hands into your heart center and start breathing into your lower belly. And as you're breathing into your lower belly, you're going to inhale and press your belly all the way down. I'm going to show you. So you're going to inhale, exhale, push your belly out. Inhale, exhale, push your belly out. Inhale, push your belly in. Exhale, push your belly out. You're going to do that for 3 cycles of breath at your own rhythm. And then you're going to breathe through your mouth and you're going to exhale, inhale. And you want to release everything, emotion that is stuck in your belly. You're going to let it out. If there's anything that you feel that is still stuck at the level of your solar plexus, of your belly, you're going to push it. Okay, so you're going to do 3 cycles of breath, inhaling in, pushing your belly inwards, exhaling, push your belly outwards. A cycle of 3 breath like that, pushing your belly in, exhaling, push your belly out. Then 3 cycles of this. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling through your mouth, inhaling through your nose, and pushing out. If you feel at this point that there's still stuck emotion in your belly, you're gonna push your belly. You're gonna inhale and push your belly and exhale with sound. And you want the sound to come from your lower belly. You're gonna do 3-3-3, okay? By this time, you're just gonna check in how you are. Okay, I'm still in this process of discomfort, but now my frustration, my fear, my anxiety has reduced. I can be present. And so you're gonna take deep breath in through your nose, deep breath in through your nose, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. And at this point, I'm gonna invite you to bring your hands into your heart center and just say something, whatever, tuning in into your heart. What is my heart telling me in this moment in relationship to what is happening to me? So your heart is usually gonna speak to you through with the frequency of love. It's gonna be encouraging you and loving you. And so just tune in and access the higher wisdom of your heart and allow the voice of your heart to come through. Continue breathing in. And lastly, you're gonna inhale and open your eyes. You're gonna inhale into your chest. You can open your mouth to really inhale and open and exhale through your mouth. And you're gonna hug yourself. And you can do this as many times as you need. You're gonna inhale and open your mouth, and you can inhale from your nose and mouth. And you're gonna hug. Inhale now at the level of the chest. Exhale, give yourself a hug, and that's the end of your practice. So I invite you to practice it, to let me know in the comments how it goes, and I'll send you a big, big love. My name is Sofia Martinez, and this is a space for you, for us, to heal in unity, in love, and cooperation, for you, for each other, and the planet. Big love. I'll see you next time. As always, if you want to continue this journey as one-on-one coaching, you know where to find me at www.sofiamartinezcoaching.com. Big love. Ciao, ciao. Okay, I wanted to share a few things to keep in mind that are resources for you. If you haven't signed up to my newsletter, you can do so by going to my website, www.sofiamartinezcoaching.com. There, as soon as you arrive to my website, you're going to see there's the choice to sign up to my newsletter. When you sign up to my newsletter, you receive my ebook. This book I really love. It's a few pages long, but I guide you through the process of embracing your sacred nature. What does this mean? I give you different practices to integrate in your life that will cultivate your connection to your sacred self, that part of you that is larger, that is infinite, that is everlasting. And so that's the first gift that I have. The other two pieces that I wanted to share with you is that when you go on my website, on the homepage, if you scroll down, you're going to see that I am offering you a free training, that it's a beautiful process. It's a guided meditation through your childhood all the way to your grow at the end of your life. And what is the purpose of this? Is to ignite your passions and your inspiration again. So if you find yourself that you're in a time that you want to ignite the light within you, your passions, and that direction of like, what is truly important to me, this is the training for you. And it's called Unlocking Your Potential. And then the other piece that I wanted to share is on courses. You'll see on my menu, this says courses, and there I have a course around your vision. So why is this important? Here in this training, I guide you through a process of connecting with your vision that is here in your head and started to bring it down into the earth. I also share and I guide you through the process of bringing your vision into earth so you can actually begin to taste it, to feel it, to live it. And then I guide you through a process that will give you a direction, a way, and a tool to make choices that are in service to your vision. And so you start taking steps that are contributing to your vision, and that is creating your vision training. And so you can find everything on my website, and as always, I'm also available for one-on-one coaching sessions. I also have a package where you can integrate healing sessions along with embodiment sessions, because there is so much stored in our body. And so when you integrate the speaking with the energy and the body, it's a full, really holistic, integrative experience. And so all the information is there, sofiamartinezcoaching.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.